Hello everyone, welcome to Miss Lee's class. Today we will be talking about how to solve linear equations with rational numbers using multiplications and divisions. Before we start, let's talk about what rational numbers are. Do you guys remember what rational numbers? Rational numbers are the numbers that can be represented as a fraction. So all the fractions and decimals are rational numbers. So we'll be using fractions and decimals to solve linear equations. Okay, look at the warm-up questions. Before we start, let's review how to multiply fractions. Okay, here, there are two methods to solve this kind of problem. So first method, we can just multiply the top together. 3 times 15, which is 45. 5 times 6, which is 30. And reduce it after. Okay, 45 is divisible by 5. So we're going to write 9 here. 30 is divisible by 5 as well. So you have to divide both numbers with the same number. So divided by 5, it becomes 6. And everyone, 9 and 6. 9 is divisible by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 6 is divisible by 3. It becomes 2. So the answer here is 3/2. So this is one way of solving it. Or we can use a shortcut method of solving this problem. We use diagonal simplification. So look at 3 and 6 and find the number that can divide both numbers. So 3 and 6 are divisible by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. And this becomes 2. And look at this. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 5 divided by 5 is 1. And the final answer, 1 times 3, 3. 1 times 2 is 2. Either way, you get the same answer. Look at letter B. To solve this problem, we have to make 10 to a fraction. So 10 is same as 10/1. And multiplied by 3/5. Alright. So this time we're going to use a shortcut. Here, let's reduce the fraction diagonally. So 10 and 5, they're divisible by 5. 10 becomes 2 and 5 becomes 1. And when you look at 1 and 3, there's no number that can divide both numbers except 1. So we're just going to multiply 2 and 3. It becomes 6. 1 times 1 becomes 1. So the answer is 6. Okay, those are mixed numbers. When you have mixed numbers, you always need to change the mixed numbers to improper fractions. Okay, let's change the mixed number to improper fractions. Do you guys remember how to change mixed numbers to improper fractions? So what you do is you multiply those two and add 4. So 1 times 5 plus 4. And same thing, 3 times 3 plus 1. Okay, then I have 9 over 5 times 10/3. And let's reduce diagonally. 9 and 3, those are divisible by 3. 3 becomes 1, 9 becomes a 3, 10 becomes 2, 5 becomes 1 when you reduce diagonally. Okay, then I have 3 times 2, which is 6, 1 times 1, which is 1. So the answer is 6. Next, now we're going to divide fractions. So here, when you have this kind of problem, when you have division, remember you use keep, change, flip method. Keep the first number, change the division to multiplication, and flip the second number, 21 over 10. Now, we reduce diagonally. 5 becomes 1, 10 becomes 2. And reduce diagonally. 7 becomes 1, 21 becomes a 3. Okay, 1 times 3 is 3, 1 times 2 is 2. So the answer is 3 over 2. Now we're moving to the example 1. Okay, everyone, before we solve the problems, I want you to remember this. What's our final goal? Our final goal is to isolate x. So remember to isolate x, right? Okay, so look at this problem. I have 2 and x. What's hiding in between 2 and x? Right, multiplication is hiding in between 2 and x. And as I said, our final goal is to isolate x. To isolate x, we have to get rid of 2. Okay, so it's multiplication, everyone. How would you get rid of multiplying by 2? We use inverse operation, which is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. All right, then I get, so will be canceled. I have x isolated, and I have 3 over 4 divided by 2. All right, then 3 over 4, we use keep, change method. Keep 3 over 4, change the middle, and change, flip 1 over 2. Keep, change, flip method. Okay, so when you have 2, 2 is the same as 2 over 1. When you flip it, it becomes 1 over 2. Now I have 3 times 1, 4 times 2. It's not reducible. So it's not reducible, and this is the simplest form, lowest term. So this is the answer. Next, I have a division bar here. When you have a division bar, that is same as division. So I have dividing 3. So how would you cancel this division? So you would multiply both sides by 3. Then this will cancel, and I have m equals negative 2 over 5 times 3 over 1. As I said, you can move this negative to the top or to the bottom. I have moved this to the top here. So I have negative 2 over 5 times 3 over 1, because the 3 is the same as 3 over 1. All right, now negative 2 times 3, negative 6. 5 times 1, which is 5. And the answer is negative 6 over 5. Or if you change this to a mixed number, it will be 1 and negative 1 and 1 over 5. Alright, let's move to the next question. So when you have mixed numbers like this, you always need to change this to improper fractions. Okay, so I have negative 2 and 1 over 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 2 times 2 plus 1. K equals negative 3 times 2 plus 1. So change everything to improper fractions. And I got negative 5 over 2k. I got 7 over 2. Okay. Right. What's hiding in between k and negative 5 over 2? Right, multiplication. So we're going to get rid of this number by divide this number by negative 5 over 2. So dividing fraction is the same as multiplying the reciprocal. So I'm going to flip this number. Remember, keep change method. 2 over 5. I'm going to multiply it. And whatever you do on one side, you have to do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to do this times by negative 2 over 5. Right, so this will be gone. And I'm going to calculate this. Okay, k equals negative 7 over 2 times negative 2 over 5. Right, look at diagonal. 2 and 2, they're divisible by 2. It becomes 1 and 1. Okay, negative 7 times negative 1 becomes 7. 1 times 5 becomes 5. So remember everyone, when you have negative sign and negative sign, it becomes positive. Negative sign, positive 7. Alright, positive 7 over 5 is the answer. And if you change this to a mixed number, it becomes 1 and 2 over 5. So this is your final answer. Alright, now everyone, we have decimal numbers. 0.3, x equals 0.6. Okay, 0.3 and x, multiplication is hiding. And we're going to divide both sides by 0.3 to get the answer. Then x will be isolated. 0.6 divided by 0.3 will be, if you hit this number into your calculator, go ahead everyone. So if you have your calculator with you, put this number in your calculator and you will get 2. Alright, next. Again, multiplication is hiding. So we're going to divide both sides by 0.05. 0.05. Then y will be 0.25 divided by 0.05. Then the answer, if you hit this number into your calculator, the answer is 5. Y equals 5. Okay, I want you to look at F and G. They're not the same question. We have fractions here. They're not the same type of question because I have variable in the top and I have a variable in the bottom. So when you have variable in the top, we know how to solve this, right? So you have division here, divided by 0.28. So to cancel the division, you can simply multiply 0.28 0.28 both sides, right? Okay, then x equals negative 4.5 times 0.28. Then the answer is, so again, if you have your calculator with you, I want you to put this number into your calculator to find the answer. Then you will get negative 1.26. Alright, next problem. Last class, I told you how to use a trick to solve this kind of problem. So you have an unknown number. You have C in the bottom. Okay, when you have a variable in the bottom, what you do is you're switching those two things to solve the problem. Then that becomes C equals 0.33 over 0.11. Okay, now you put this number into your calculator, then you get 3. So the answer is 3. Okay, let's move to the next question. Here it says temperature in Edmonton is 1/3 of the average afternoon temperature in Yellowknife. I want you to highlight this. Okay, so I'm gonna use TE for the temperature in Edmonton. And is the same as equal sign in mathematics. And 1/3, so you just write down 1/3 here. And of, when you see of in mathematics, that's always multiplication. So 1/3 times the average temperature in Yellowknife. So I'm gonna use TY for temperature, for the temperature in Yellowknife. Okay, if you read the question here, it says the temperature in Yellowknife is negative 8.6. So what you are going to do is, instead of having TE, you're going to write negative 8.6. Okay, here's an equation. We learned how to solve this equation. So when you have an application problem like this, when you have a word problem like this, you always need to make an equation. Alright, and we want to know what TY is, what temperature in Yellowknife is. So what we are going to do is we're going to isolate the variable. Okay, then to isolate the variable, we have to get rid of this. Multiply this by 1/3. We want to remove this. To do that, divide it by 1/3, which is same as multiplied by 3/1. Remember, keep, change, flip method. So we're going to multiply this by 3/1. This will be gone. And we just need to calculate this. Therefore, TY equals negative 8.6 times 3/1. 3/1 is the same as just 3. Okay, put this equation into your calculator. Then you will get negative 25.8. So the temperature, afternoon temperature in Yellowknife is negative 25.8 degrees.